Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our Pre-Sunken City Tournament number 2. We just got done watching our first top 4 series, and now we are getting ready to move into our second top 4. And I have with me another special guest to kick off our casting here. Ivan, how are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
Doing well, doing well. This is going pretty quickly, I would say. So very interesting. The last
Yeah.
series we saw very aggressive decks, so it's going to be interesting to see if we see that again. But speaking of decks, we will have our match between Parawax and King X7. Can you give us a little breakdown about what these players brought?
Yeah, sure. As far as I see, Parox decided to go with Control Warrior, with Warlock, some kind of interesting old Warlock, like everybody played previously, but with rebuffed version of Morg. So it should be better than previously, yeah. And some kind of fell demon hunter, while Kings is trying to play shaman. I suppose it's heavy shaman with Isharaj, with Brukan, with a new card, a Blade Master. It's not new, but
Yeah.
one of the last ones. Yeah, for me, it's a new card, the latest one. And with Kazakhstan Druid, as always, people play Druid. And another, very interesting Kazakhstan Warlock with Jaraxxus with Kazakhstan. It would be fun to watch, I suppose.
Yeah, we'll find out if that doesn't get banned, but definitely some interesting decks, I think, much different than we saw in the last series. These are definitely more combo type or a bit slower of decks. The last series we saw very
Yeah.
aggressive decks.
Yeah, previous series was like 15 minutes or something.
Yeah, it was super fast. But
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, these are much slower decks, but it's kind of interesting. Do you notice, like, are there really any cards I think that kind of go back to those cards that were reverted? I think it's the Demon Hunter especially sticks out for me with the Moarg and Il'gynoth. But was there
It's
anything else?
crazy. It's crazy deck for sure, and it was strong before the rain nerf. And now it's, I think,
Yeah.
like tier 1 deck or something. Actually, I don't know why they decided to do this. It's like 1 week into wild,
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like that
and
last minute change up. I think they did this at one point or at this time last year as well, like right before the core set. And I think it's just because they want to put it all in like one patch before everything
yeah.
rotates out. They don't have to like change it again afterwards, but it does make for a very interesting shakeup right before the new expansion.
It feels like at school summer holidays. You just do anything you want, and all these reverts are like this. You just have a look. Oh, this is reverted. This is Nourish for 5. When I've seen Nourish for 5, I was literally like, yeah, Nourish.
Yeah, and we did already start seeing people putting that into decks for sure. Like that has already been it's already been included. So it's definitely interesting to see everyone kind of bringing these decks and classes back after the cards have been reverted. Do you have any predictions for the match that we're about to
uh,
see?
I suppose that Kazakhstan Warlock would be not very good choice, but still we will see. I think it's a bit weird deck because it has too much different. It's too slow, as I see it. It is too slow, and probably he will try to get to this Kazakus, and other decks would just finish him faster. For example, File Demon Hunter, it is control or combo deck, if you say, but it's quite fast deck, and it can kill you like before Jace, before Ilginot. He can just face you with all the spells, with Fury, with Warblades, yeah, and we'll see. But I think he will have some struggles with this deck, and everything else is fine, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. The players should be getting into game in just a moment here, and we're going to see where they are going to be queuing these decks. But I just find it so fascinating when we have these like mini metas like this, and we kind of talked about in the other series. Just it seems like these tournaments, especially, are just so open, and I think we really saw that in the difference already between the decks that were brought in the first series versus the decks that are brought here. And yeah, it's going to be very interesting. Going to go fast, I think. Or maybe not as fast as the first one, but I think it'll still be pretty quick.
I would like to see the match between Warrior and this Warlock, or maybe Shaman, because two slow decks. It's always interesting to see all these fatigue moves and other stuff. Previously I loved control decks. I'm the guy who played when Control Warrior could have like up to 100 armor, and everybody played to fatigue. And I played Control Warrior. I'm that guy,
Yeah. That's perfectly fine. It's in the game for a reason.
Yeah. So I love control matchups, and it's very interesting to see. I remember the moment when I loved Hearthstone. It was the match, the Worlds between Tice and who was that? It was a Freeze Mage Mirror. Tice versus the guy who won championship that year. Yeah, and they played Freeze Mage, and one of them pinged himself in order to not allow his enemy to break his ice block. And that was like, holy shit. It was, the highest point of mastermind for the time for me, and I was like in love for Hearthstone since then.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I completely forgot about that until you mentioned that. Yeah, I remember when that happened, and it was so crazy. Like, people were just like losing their minds over that play. And I think, overall, I think the level of play and decision making has increased in players in general. But still, sometimes seeing some of those plays is just like, there's a reason why, certain players are at certain levels, and seeing plays like that is just incredible to watch.
These are the reasons why some players became the champions, and these are the reasons why some players started playing.
Yeah, absolutely. And, one thing that we're hoping with these tournaments as well, with these tournaments that I'm running, is that it does inspire people to try tournaments and to try casting and to get into the scene more, because I know for me, I absolutely love the Hearthstone tournament scene and Hearthstone esports. So to see more people getting into tournaments and getting into casting is just incredible. So yeah, hopefully there are plays, whether it's on this tournament or not, just plays and players that people see that inspire them to try out the tournaments for themselves.
Yeah, actually, when I opened Battlefy, I thought, why not to play next tournament? Next, try to do Masters Tour or something, because, it's fun. Why not?
Yeah, absolutely.
And Yeah, and casting is also very fun, and I think it's the thing that everybody should try. Everybody who loves playing, yeah, and I think that's definitely the experience you need.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit different, playing versus the
Hmm.
casting. And I think there's players who maybe they don't have success in the tournaments, or they don't have the results that they're looking for, but they could excel at casting, or vice versa. There's some players who can do extraordinarily in tournaments themselves, but they might not be able to catch on to some of the casting things, because there are some nuances and things that make you a better caster, other than just knowing the cards, or just knowing the decks and how to talk about the plays, which is always it's always been an interesting thing, I think, as I've learned more
Hmm.
and been watching more tournaments, competing in tournaments and casting tournaments. But we we love to be able to share these showcase these players, and share these players and the casters with everybody else. So we are getting into our first game.
Hmm.
Warlock
Hmm.
mirror match.
Yeah. So Warlock.
All right.
Yeah. 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 He mulliganed everything,
Uh,
and his opponent changed two cards. As I see. Yeah. Oh, it's Warlock Mirror.
yeah. The
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, definitely different. These are different archetypes, right? Or were they the same? Oh my goodness,
Oh, they're
these
different. They're
were
different.
yeah. Okay.
Uh, one has
Oh,
Jaraxxus,
that's right.
and
Yeah, the Jaraxxus Kazakhstan.
is
Yes,
Jaraxxus a card?
I know it is. And this might be like the last time it's played before it, just disappears forever. I think at this point, but yeah, one side, the Parallax on the player on top here is the one with the owl OTK lock. We see one
Yeah,
of those owls
yeah.
already in hand. And then King on the bottom here is running this Dark Portal Kazakhstan Jaraxxus list, which is just so fascinating.
Jaraxxus, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I love old TK Warlock a lot. I played it a lot, and I think it is the deck that actually was very strong before. And with these reverts, I think it's also incredible. And we'll see, but my bet is old TK.
Yeah.
However, we have Kazakhstan for 3 mana.
Yeah, I think at this point, I wonder if it's King has to make the choice of when to play the Kazakhstan, because is this a play the Kazakhstan as early as possible, start getting those treasures, and hope to ideally like kind of race Parallax before Parallax can start getting the owl and all the combo pieces? Or is it a wait until King has drawn through more of the deck? I think personally, I'm kind of leaning towards just slam the Kazakhstan as early as possible.
Look, he has Jaraxxus into the deck, and he need to find it.
True. I know that
Yeah,
Jaraxxus is it's gonna keep getting us.
you know what would do I? I would play Ticketus, burn Jaraxxus,
Yeah.
and prepare myself for. Oh, Kazakhstan is ready for some. Oh, yeah, Jaraxxus is not a minion. Oh, I'm too old. I'm too old. I forgot that Jaraxxus is a hero.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
yeah, the only other card, I think the only other minion is the Ticketus, which we see already in hand. So I think it looks like Kazakhstan, and is that the only minion? Yeah.
Play. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, probably. He drew it with Portal, yeah, and
Yeah.
now he can do it.
Oh, wow. What that was a great hit as well for in
Yeah,
King's favor, actually getting to remove that 1/1. The way the Hysteria worked out there, it was gonna hit both of the nulls, but clearing out
yeah,
that 1/1 first was great.
yeah. If I would use, I don't know, I would never hit that 1/1.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's my luck. That's why I play control decks. I just make my enemies suffer.
I mean,
Okay,
yeah,
so
that's one way that it works. So what do you like here as Parallax? I mean, is this it's still only turn 5, and if I'm not mistaken, I don't see there's no ruined mythal rod in hand here, which would be the ideal turn 5, but that's an option.
Yeah. By this start, I think this Kazakhstan is going to win the game because no rod and no fast all, Death Rattle means not very good news for our friend.
Yeah. Yeah, fairly passive turn for Parallax.
Very. Yeah, he had great start with that 2 gnolls, but now nothing. And Kazakhstan is ready.
Oh yeah, here it is. And there's enough mana to also tap afterwards too. Oh, Book of the Dead or Wand of Disintegration, but Book of the Dead. Okay. This choice not as great.
No. I would take Hyper Blaster, but nothing matters because all these cards are garbage.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, could take the Patron, I guess. Just no, didn't take the Patron. Yeah, these.
I would take Wand.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, these have not been the greatest choices for King.
It's a disaster. Actually, only one good card and other are just mediocre. I don't know.
Yeah, those were definitely less than ideal. There was, I think, Book of the Dead was the only, maybe Wand second seemed like the only good choices there. But yeah, gonna go for the life tap. Okay, mutating injection.
The problem is that he burned all his deck for this garbage, you know?
Yeah.
He burned literally everything, and now Parox need to just leave a few turns, and he's fine.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because since we saw what the options were, we know that these are pretty bad treasures, but Parallax doesn't know that. So I'm really curious to see like what decisions Parallax makes. Just knowing that there's treasures, but not knowing like how bad the treasures are.
You know, Parallax is now sitting and he's expecting locusts. He's expecting army knife. He's expecting everything, but we have literally 2 Book of the Dead.
Yeah. Okay, Forge Fiend? Yeah. The Forge Fiend will get to corrupt the Ticketus, which is also kind of my line of thinking, where it does have a high health, so maybe it's a little bit harder for Parallax to deal with, since there hasn't been an Owl out yet. And it corrupts the Ticketus, which I think maybe King has to hope for getting a Ticketus out at this point.
Yeah, corrupting is, one of the ways how he can solve his problems right now. And without it, another way would be Dreadleech, And he has too many cards, and he need to play this demon right now, I think. He has no choice.
Yeah, I think this is just a setup for Ticketus. I mean, honestly, like Book of the Dead, we keep talking about how that's probably like the best treasure, and it's still 7 mana. Like, it's still so expensive.
Yeah.
You're used to seeing it, being played for 0, so 7 is like ridiculous.
Yeah, recently I played Kazakhstan Druid, and I had like 2 of these for 0 and Ragnaros, and I just demolished my opponent in 1 turn. And right now he has dead hand. He has literally nothing to play except for Ticketus maybe next turn. And that's disaster.
And we see
By the way, his opponent got Mithril Rod.
Yeah. Yeah, Parawak's gonna get this owl down. I like this too. I think Parawak is almost recognizing they have to go for this owl as soon as possible before something like Wand of Disintegration comes out. It's just now a matter of if you're Parawak, you have to kill it this turn, right? To make sure that your opponent is not going to do some silent shenanigans.
Yeah. Well done. Well done. It clears the board. It gives you this rattle. Perfect.
Yeah. Oh, there is a Wax Rager. Okay, that's still not much, but it's, something. Artificer gone. The second rune. Okay, so yeah, this ticket is coming down.
Okay.
Wow, the other Grimoire. Well, 5 cards left in the deck now for Parawak.
I don't see his cards, actually, not very well, but as I understand, he's very close to have all the combo, yeah?
Looks like it. Yeah, it's definitely getting really close, if not kind of needing one more.
He has all the cards.
And the discount now as well.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, great. There's the yep. The Wicked Shipment coming into hand now as well. I think kind of was the last thing that Parawak needed for getting on the board.
Yeah, he probably needs to trade it away right now and hope to get it back for the next turn.
Yeah. It still only is going to summon 2 imps at this point, so it's still a relatively small generation, but there's Fel Rifts. Okay.
You know, he has some Fel Rifts, yeah. Oh, a lot of Fel Rifts.
Yeah. Are these going to stick around, though?
Probably not. Probably not.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think this board is sticking around. There's a lot of ways for King to remove that board. The Tamsin, the book, the wand, twisting nether. Like, there's a lot of ways to remove this.
He has 2 wands, and he can use anything.
Yeah, I think, interestingly though, if we look at one card left in the deck for Parawak now, because of that Ticketus, Parawak might be able to actually take advantage of that tradable, like you were talking about. Might be able to just trade it into the deck and then draw it again with the hero power and get more effect there. So it could work in their favor because they've gotten a lot of discount on this hand as well here.
Yeah. Well, I suppose he's ready.
All right. Okay. Now we're just gonna watch it happen here.
Oh, he had it all.
Yeah, that's. I mean, those Runed Mithril Rod discounts go so far sometimes.
Yeah, this card is crazy. And actually, when I've seen it for the first time, it was like, weapon that discounts all hand? Like, what?
Yeah, it's
in
definitely.
In my times, we had Taurisan for that.
Yeah. And oh my gosh, yeah, here we're gonna see all of this damage go off, and with only one of those wax candles on the board, all of those other death rattles going straight to face. So looks like Parawak taking down that first game with the Owl OTA. And okay, so now, ahead 1-0. That has to feel pretty good, especially when it's a two game potential. So Parawak is gonna have to win with the Demon Hunter now.
Yeah, even even Jaraxxus on deck didn't help.
Yeah,
so
I know, it never even showed up. Didn't even get to see it.
I've never seen such deck, so for me it's very interesting. But still, he had great start. He had like Kazakus for 3 mana, and turn 5, and everything was up for him. The late Mithril Rod and everything, but still he has actually the same hand as on previous mulligan, the same. And he's just unlucky with these treasures, you know. These treasures can ruin your game, and I've seen a lot of games that early Kazakhstan spoiled them instead of winning, and it's very common thing.
Double Altar of Fire. And I think for King does not feel very good.
Not very good. For sure. And we have Ilgenot, yeah. Ilgenot, Foul Demon Hunter.
Yeah. Yeah, and one thing that's also really interesting, here goes these Altar of Fires. The Jaraxxus, no!
I think he's just mad. What if he destroys Kazakhstan? He loses the game because he has nothing to make pressure. That's wild.
Yeah. I mean, maybe can still get there through Kazakhstan. I think last game would have gone a lot differently if some of those Kazakhstan treasures had been better.
Yeah, maybe he disliked Kazakhstan.
Another Ticketus.
Already?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, but he's a very good player.
Absolutely, yeah. Arawaks did lose some of the cards there, and one thing that's really interesting, you know, we keep talking about how the meta right now, a lot of these cards just got reverted. We're seeing this Il'gynoth back, but because players have switched over to this Il'gynoth Moarg version, we're not seeing players running glides anymore. So it's also kind of interesting to think about no glide is going to happen in this game.
Yeah, I've never thought about it, and that's an interesting choice for sure. But I would never skip the glide because glide is incredible card, and I think glide is the problem in this quest line Demon Hunters, in this Il'gynoth Demon Hunters, and I think glide is one of the strongest cards in this deck. It's very interesting how Glide managed to, you know, dodge all the nerfs and still be in the same position it was.
Yeah. Well, talking about, you know, powerful effects, we're seeing this Moarg again, and it was copied from that Discovered Philosophy, so it does look like Parawax is kind of going in on that line of, okay, well, some of my fell spells were burned. I'm going to need to just try to get some stuff going here, but such an easy removal.
Yeah.
Skulls are not in a good place for Parawax either. And with coin.
Yeah, his hand looks very, you know, very slow and double skull, nothing to do, and he just... I don't know. I hope he won't just use Il'gynoth right away.
Yeah, this has seemed so awkward for Parawax. Oh, there's a glide though. We were just talking about glide. There it is. And coin that glide out. Gonna put back that hand for King as well. That Il'gynoth coming right back to hand. Oh, the Dark Portal. Oh my gosh. Dark Portal and now Ticketus. That means Dark Portal would draw the Kazakhstan, but won't get discounted at this point. The hand size is not large enough.
Yeah, it's just, you know, a very weak version of Dark Portal, but still it's good. It's good. He can tap a few turns and then use it. I think he won't play anything, and he will just tap to make his hand bigger.
Yeah, that ended up being kind of awkward. I guess now just gonna go in on the... I don't know if King can pressure. Like, I don't know if there's gonna be enough pressure that can be applied here to start beating down Parallax. King knows that there was a lot of fell spells and removal taken out from those Altar of Fires, though, so maybe that could be an approach.
It's 2 damage. It's 2 damage, and I think making yourself have Kazakus 2 turns earlier is much better.
No way to corrupt this Ticketus in hand either.
Yeah, I definitely think he should have tapped this turn and previous, and then he will use Portal. He would use. Now he looked at his Portal.
Yeah, it's a tough call. I mean, is there actually going to be opportunity to get... I think you're right, though. If there was not a card played last turn, then that means the Dark Portal could be active coming up. But,
And now he uses it, bro.
Yeah, I mean, just getting the Kazakhstan in hand, though. Also, because this is an open deck format, again, there's only one minion in the deck. So Parallax knows that Kazakhstan is in hand. That glide earlier was generated. So I think King feels pretty safe just getting the Kazakhstan now and guaranteeing it for turn 8, even though it's not going to get the discount, but just guaranteeing and saying, hey, I'm going to play Kazakhstan on 8. What are you going to do?
Now I understand that he's genius. He burned Jaraxxus, and he needs Kazakhstan for full price to discount Ticketus later. And I think he's genius, and he thought about it. That's why he did this.
Yeah, true. It's. I'm gonna take a look at the deck list again here too, because I don't think. Lost that Jaraxxus.
Probably he has a.
Wow.
Yeah, he has Twisting Nazda, and that's it.
Yeah, I think one of them was removed as well earlier from one of those Altar of Fires. So yeah, I mean, 2 of the 3 cards that could corrupt Ticketus outside of the Kazakhstan were lost earlier. So yeah, getting that Kazakhstan. Oh, this is just a future setup, and now it's a matter of Parallax finally gets to play one of those skulls, but we're at that elusive turn 8 now.
Yep.
All right, let's... I'm so ready to see these treasures. If they're better.
Yeah, let's see. Boombox.
Okay, there's a Pure Cold.
Good. In this game, he's definitely stronger.
Yeah. Oh.
So... weird.
Yeah, those aren't great.
Wax Ranger or Looming Presence?
Yeah. Either one could be okay. They're not the best, but they're fine. Yeah. Book.
Book, yeah. So in this game he improved a lot.
Yes, yeah, much better choices this time around. Yeah. Hopefully that pays off there for King. But now Parallax knows, okay, the Kazakhstan has come down. There's these treasures. This Ticketus we see.
Ticketus is ready.
Yep. Yeah. And again, Parallax did lose some of those spells, a couple of the kind of big combo pieces. So I think Parallax now has to look at and see, is there any way to win the game from here? And if so, how many resources can Parallax commit now to try to do something? And how much do they have to save to try to win the game?
Actually, does he have any chance to clear the board right now? Okay, he has some spells.
Yeah, but I don't think it's enough. Yeah, 5 attack exactly. Oh, gonna have to hit into the Kazakhstan to clear it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some healing potential to follow up, so it doesn't seem like the worst option here, just hitting into that Kazakhstan, getting it off of the board. I mean, especially like you're talking about, if there's a potential for Swiss Army knife, you want to remove that Kazakhstan.
Always.
Yeah.
Yeah, and right now I think it's easy Kazakhstan, and that's it. Yeah, lifesteal.
There's the ticketus. All right.
So
Both fell gorgers.
yeah, Warblades and Galdon. Okay, so it's look. It doesn't look very good for Parox, you know.
No, it's not. I mean, again, several of the pieces earlier removed. Now one of the spell damages is gone. Like, it's just starting to look a little dire.
Yeah. I don't know if he has enough damage already,
Yeah,
you know?
I don't know either. And I think especially with this Tamsin potential to gain some armor, you know, from Parawak's perspective, there could be, like you said, there could be like a Swiss Army knife or something else to generate, and that's not looking good. But also, from we know, there's some freeze. So even trying to get out this weapon is probably not going to last very long either.
Yeah, there are 2 freezes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see, but I'm not sure if he has enough damage already.
I don't think so either. I think at this point, Parawax is just hoping that the Kazakhstan treasures were pretty bad like they were last game. But again, though, look at this. 8 mana for this Book of the Dead. So much more expensive than when, you know, these are played in like Druid. But here's the Tamsin. Gonna try to go for additional draw here.
Probably he could have used Tap and Zan Tamsin ability. Oh, maybe he can just use Wax.
Boombots.
Or Boombots.
Yeah. we both got very excited about those Boombots. Yeah. There's 4 mana. I love it. Play the Boombots. Boombots. Chat wants to see Boombots. I think we just we root for that. Yes.
Yes.
I mean, there also is a School Spirits in hand too, so you know, to follow up the Boombots. That's
true power.
Yeah. All right. Is this enough here? Is this enough?
Let's see. 6.
Finally have the mana to be able to do this.
9.
Wow.
Oh, 18. Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
That's more than enough.
They needed the mana.
Yeah. So it's 2-0, yeah?
Yeah. So Parawax takes it 2-0. I really thought that that King was looking a lot better for that second game, but that damage for Demon Hunter really can sneak in there. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. That's 4 mana Il'gynet. The true power.
Yeah. There was a reason that it got changed in the first place, you know? Oh my gosh. Wow. Incredible series there. I did not realize
I didn't expect that.
Yeah, I didn't think there was going to be enough damage left. But I guess at that point it was just a matter of waiting for the mana to actually pull it off, because there really wasn't a lot of discounts that happened that game. So not like the previous game where, you know, the Ruined Mithril Rod discounted everything. So had to kind of wait for the mana there.
Yeah. Nobody expected that even second Kazakhs, who was much better,
Yeah, right.
didn't help. It was just not obvious. Till the last moment, I thought he has not enough damage, and I thought he would just use Il'gynet and concede. But it worked out.
Yeah, I mean, Parawax obviously knows the deck very, very well, and knew what the outs were, knew the breakpoints for the damage, and really stuck in there to say, okay, I'm waiting until I get that last piece of the puzzle that I need, and was able to pull it off. So, you know, really well played from both sides, especially considering that some of the draws didn't really fit very well, or there wasn't necessarily discounts, but I think both players played really well there.
Yeah. The genius move is drawing Kazakus for 8 to get ticket as corrupted was very good. It
Yeah.
was not obvious, yeah. And I thought that he's just losing his mind. Why he's not pumping? And he was correct, and that's why he's player, and that's why I'm caster.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes it's there's a lot going on when we're casting. Sometimes it's a little easy to miss those things, but thank you so much for joining me for this. Is there anything that you want to plug or shout out before we take a quick break before moving into our finals?
I want to say good luck for the finalists, and thank you for allowing me to cast with you. It was pleasure for me and very interesting, and I hope for the next tournaments maybe you will call me one more, and everything is perfect. Hello, chat. Thank you for watching, and play more, play better. See you.